and welcome back to the second part of this tutorial. Now let's take care of the subject area. This is the area I refer to as the subject area, these two. So I'm going to close that and just going to copy one of these. Let me call this student details first. I'll copy it first and just enter student details there. Right, now take it down, and right underneath here we now enter the subject area, and I'm going to enter one for button and one more. Okay, let's get it indented properly, and this is going to be subject. This will be for guidance or parents and guidance, parent or guidance, and right underneath here that's going to be for buttons. Okay, I will also need maybe one up right underneath the button here. I'm going to need one for function there. Functions will be here. Okay, it's just to make life easy for me. You don't have to do this. Right, functions. Now come right down here, subjects. Now the very first subject is going to be, let's say it's going to be English. So let me copy this because I can easily take care of those. Copy this, everything here. Okay, and take it down, paste that in there, indent, and change this to English. Right. Just repeat the same thing for the rest. It's English, English as well, English. And we will also change the text name on the label there. So that's my very first subject. Now this very first subject is going to be inside the frame called subject frame 1. Let's look for it. Subject frame 1, this very one. You can see subject frame 1 is a child of subject frame left. So subject frame 1, change this, change that framework here, and change the combo box framework as well. There, maybe I should even put a space here so that you guys can see it. And this is going to be inside row 0, column 0, while this one will be row 0, column 1. Okay, that's the very first one. Now let's change the width. The width of this, I'm going to make it about 19 there, and I think right here. Now on the drop down list, I'm going to change this one, the very first one. I'm going to make it a core unit. Okay, according to the syllabus you have to take 14 units, and among those 9 are compulsory, so those are the core unit. So we're going to say yes here, that you're taking that. Nope, it's not been taken. And finally we have complete, and our unit is completed. So all 14 units must be passed. Complete. Okay, let's say completed there. So I'm going to run it now. That's that. Let's try that again. Run there. And that's my very first subject. Look at that. Core unit is the default one. Yes. Working on it. No, haven't started. Completed. Right. So in total we have 7 units there. So all I'm just going to do is copy and come right down, paste. That's 2 now, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, get it indented properly. And we just need to now change the subjects around. There we go. There. So if you guys can still recall, the very first one is rule 0. Okay, so the second one is going to be rule 1. Rule 1 here as well. Now rule 2, and this is 2 as well. Okay, we have 3. Rule number 3. Rule 3. We have 4, and so on. And that's the last one, 6 and 6. So let's run it, and you see that, you see what I'm talking about. There we go. Look at all the units. So all I just need to do now is to just change the names of each unit and maybe move this up a little bit. There's too much gaps here. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to change the name of the unit. The next unit after English, let's make that maybe games, computer games, right, and change this to games as well. So you can change your own to whatever you want. So this is games, games, games all the way. There. I will now speed up the whole process now that you guys understand what I'm talking about. I've just changed that to games. Okay, let's assume games is not finished yet. And just put yes in there. Not started? No. Complete? Completed. And look at the background. You can see the color. So let's change that. Let me show you guys what to do with that there now. The background there is, let's see, there's no background here. Okay, we have to change this background to, let's say, BG equals, I'm going to make that Gamesboro, then before speeding it all up, close. So that's the background for the very first one. So let's run it and you see what I'm talking about. There we go. So the background is now merged with this very background. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for the others. Let's just copy Gamesboro, copy and paste it in here. Let's straight onto the labels. Just the labels. So the whole background problem is now officially sorted. Save, press F5, run it. There. So I'm now going to just speed up the design of the subject area and get back to you guys. Okay, it's all taken care of. So I just need to take care of the second subject area, which is this area of it. So let's go in here. I'm just going to copy that. Let's see, there we go. Yeah, I'm going to copy it and just paste it on the second subject area. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Just copy one first. I'm going to call this subject first, and let's copy all of this. Copy, bring it down. Underneath here, that'll be second. Right. And we just need to change the frame to frame 2, and here 2 as well, subject frame 2. And the very first subject I'm talking about, that is going to be data science. So let's enter data science in there. Let's give it a name. And change the name of every single component here. Copy and change that to data science. Right. Data science, yep. And we just run that and see how that looks like. Then we can take it from there. There we go. So I'm going to run that, and if it goes fine, we just copy and paste. There we go. That is fine. You guys, just for your information, you see the background? That is the design I want. I just want the background to trail around each of the frames. That is why I use the background there, and the same thing here as well. Okay, so I'm going to copy that and just speed things up. Come back here, copy, paste, and that's going to be for number 2. This is 1, so this one will be 0, 0, and 0. This one will be 1 and 1. So let's run it. Let's change the name around. There we go. So I'm going to speed that up and get back to you guys. And there we go, guys. I've finished with the subject area number 2. Have a good look at it. Okay, it's exactly the same lines of codes. All I'm just doing is just changing the names of the subject and relocate them to their rightful frame. That's all I've just done. There. Okay, so it's all the same with subject area 1. Okay, so that is fine. Now let's run it. There we go. It's coming up now. There, look at that. That's beautiful. Alright, so you see right here, let's take care of the parental details. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy one of these and just maybe even copy it all. So we'll just copy about 7 components in there. Let's go up there, copy 7 components right here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then I'll change things around, and that is called, let's see what's the name of that frame. That frame is called guidance frame. Okay, come right down here, paste that right in here, there, and it's called guidance frame. Okay, let's copy guidance frame there, come right down here and just change all of these to guidance frame. Yeah. Then I would have to kind of like realign it properly though. Right. Okay, that is it, all done, but I want this to be the first. But let me run it first and you guys see what I'm talking about. Run. There we go. So that will be the first one right up here. Oh, I left one out here. And I also need to change the back color. Alright. So let's speed that up anyway. I'm just going to copy this and put it right at the top. I'm just going to speed that up and get back to you guys. Okay, I finished with the parents or guidance frame. So you guys can take it from up there, and let's scroll down a little bit so that you can see the rest of the codes. It's all the same anyway. There. Okay, so I'm going to run it, and let's see how that's going to look like. So have a good look at it. And you can also pause the video. Just copy it right. There we go. So let's run it. You have to save it first. And there we go. Look at that. Right here, mother is the default. Then we have dad and so on in the names. Okay, now let's add some buttons here. I think that is called buttons frame. So let's come right down here. Underneath here, we need to add button widget. So I'm going to say self dots btn add new, maybe add new. Okay, that's cool. Add new equals button, and this very button is going to be inside buttons frame. Yeah, that's the name, buttons frame. I'm going to get it padded approximately 1 on the y-axis with a border of 4, and what is font. I'm going to make the font about 16, so let's copy this and paste it there. Change that to about 16. And what else do I need? Get it padded. Okay, that's y-axis. Alright, let me get it padded 24. Copy this and just change that to, and change it to x-axis. It's about 24. We can always change that anyway. Alright, what about the width? Comma, width. We can make that, let's go for 9. That should do. And the text on it, I'm going to change the text, enter the text as add new. Right. Okay, it's just, I think that will do. Close that and press enter. Now let's run that up. We can just maybe run it up, but there's not enough room. Just do that underneath here. Paste. Let's say dots grade equals row equals 0 column equals 0. Close that. Yeah, that should do. Oh, that will do. Okay, run it. Let's see. Okay, we have an error. What's the error? Oh, wrong spelling. It's right here. There should be an I. Now run. Let's see. There we go. Our first button is right there. Okay, that's fine. So let's copy this button we need in total. Total we need about 5. So I'm going to copy that. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's just change this. This is 0. This will be 1. And that's 2, 3, and 4. Run. Let's see before we change the details around. There we go. All my 5 buttons are in the house. That's fine. close that, and let's come down here and just change all of this around. So this one, I'm going to make that exit. This will be reset, and this will be delete, update, and that's it. All I then need to do is just to change the name, give them an official name. btn update, btn delete, and btn reset. There, exit. And that is it for the buttons before we start adding our functions. To run that, let's take care of the table itself using tree view. There we go. So this part of it is ready. Now this area, we need to take care of that. That will be for the tree view. And after that, we'll create our database, then link that up. Hopefully we should be able to finish in about an hour 30 minutes. Oh yes, an hour 30 minutes, else we'll be doing a very bad job. Okay, now we need to take care of the tree view table. I have function here. Let's take care of the table. I'm going to copy this and maybe right underneath here, or maybe we should create. Okay, let's create a database first. Yeah, let's create a database. Alright, go to my SQL here, and right here I'm going to click on the schema there, and in there I'm just going to call it school DB. That's the name, school DB. That's the name of my table. Click on apply, and apply again. Click on finish, and right here, that's my school DB. Drop this down. You see the table? Right click on the table and let's select create. Okay, the table is going to be called school DB as well, right there. And you see this arrow there? Okay, change the numbers of the number of display. Drop it down, and in here, my very first column there, I'm just going to call that STD-IDs. That's student ID. Okay, STD-ID. Okay, that's fine. Just make it my primary key and make it a unique number. And in here, I'm going to enter that first name. That is fine. I'm going to change this to, yeah, let's change it to virtual as well. I will enter about 20. 20 seems to be too much. Let's make that maximum 15. And in here, surname here. Next, it's going to be NI number, national insurance number, or you can call it ID. Some people call it ID in their country. Okay, that is address, and underneath address, let's enter gender. I'm now going to be entering all of the component of my system, or else that's going to take me forever. DOB, date of birth, and after that let's find means of communication, or means of communication. Let's use mobile, and we will also use emails. There we go, all done. In the case of email, let's make that about maybe 150 characters or 100 characters. No, that's too much to remember. 70, okay, that's fine. Okay, that's it. I've only entered just 9 records there, so that will do. The program is too large. I won't be able to finish it all. Okay, then apply and apply. There. Finish. Okay, I can now minimize my database. I don't have any need for it anymore until I start entering my records. Okay, now let's come up here, copy this. We now need that for student records. Yeah, paste that right underneath here. And that will be student records. Alright. Now for my student records. Okay, let's start with, I'm going to first of all create my scroll bar. Okay, let's say scroll bar X, that will be on the X axis, equals scroll bar. So the component name is called scroll bar, and this very scroll bar is going to be right inside my frame known as record frame. That is it right there, records frame. Alright, and take it down. Now, orientation of this scroll bar, I'm going to make that horizontal because it's x-axis, so that should be horizontal. There. So let's create another one for the y-axis. Copy and paste, drop it there, and change this to y. So that's just the name. Okay, and this one is going to be vertical. Alright, so that's done. Now, the important part of it is for us to create our student record table. So I'm going to come down here. For the student record table, I'm going to use self.student. Let's say underscore record equals ttk dot tree view, and it's going to be right inside record frames. There we go. Comma. I'm going to set a height for it. I can always adjust the height if there's any issue. Okay, make that about 13, and columns. The columns is going to be equals the content on my database. The first one is called, let's put that in a quote, comma. I have about 9 together, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 there. The first one is std id, followed by first name, and I have surname, and I have NI number. Okay, I'm going to have to press enter here so that you guys can see the rest. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to make that should be address. And then we have gender. After gender, we have DOB. And and mobile. After the mobile, we have email. There. Get rid of that. Okay. Now let's just run things up. I'm going to say comma x, and that is going to be scroll command equals, let's say, scroll x. I'm now linking my scroll bar to my tables. Now I need to do the same thing for y, so I'm going to say dot set here, comma, let's copy this and paste it right here. Let's change this to y, and this is y as well. There we go, underscore y. Now I now need x. Let's round up x, come right down here. Now we need to close this. Close. Press enter, paste, and that's going to be dot park, and that is going to be side. That would be for the bottom. The bottom, park it at the bottom. Comma fill equals x. There, close that. And we need to repeat the same thing for the y-axis. Copy, paste, and change this to y, and this one is going to be y as well. There. Well, if I run it now, you guys won't be able to see much, though you will see like the shape of the table, but the shape of the tree view, but you won't see much. And the scroll bars, you see that's the x-axis and that's the y-axis scroll bar. Alright, let's close that. And now right underneath here, I now need to call every single one of my headings. This one, like this very one now. So let's go straight to my students records. This very one, copy that. Come right down here, paste. Maybe I should just add some space here. Okay. Now, the very first student record, I'm going to say dot heading, and my very first heading is going to be, undo that, the student ID, std ID. Paste that in there. Close that, comma, and the text that I want on it is going to be equals to student ID. That is the text I want on that. Close that. So I'm going to copy this. In total is now copy to 3 there. There. So I'll now change this around. Okay. The next one is first name. There. And let's do one thing. I'm going to copy all of this because I will need it to define the size as well. Paste that in there. Right, I have surname next. Surname here and surname here as well. This will be first name. So the text on it is the one in quotes, and we have NI number. Copy, and there we go. and this one is going to be NI number. Maybe it would be a good idea to actually copy this. Right. Now the next one is address. Paste address here and address here. Gender right there. Gender. Date of birth. Let's copy mobile. And date of birth, just enter DOB there. And this is gender or mobile. Okay, mobile here, DOB here. And right here is emails. And we have email here. Yeah. So just tidy this up and change that to uppercase. G uppercase as well. I think that's that. This is going to be a waste because what I need is right here. So copy all of this. Copy. And come right down here. Paste. And here I just need to define the size and so on. So but first of all, let's ask it to show the headings. Paste that in here. Student records, square bracket, show, and what I want you to show is equals heading there. That should be lowercase. Let's change that to lowercase. Headings, and change this one to lowercase as well. Right. That's all that is done. The next thing, now I'm just going to specify my width. So the width for this is going to be about, let's go for about 70. Right, repeat the same thing for the rest and just change it to round. Width. And width here. Emails. Let's make that 150. I'm going to make mobile 100. We can always change that anyway. Date of birth 70, gender 70, and address 150. And what else? I'm going to make an I 100, surname 100, NI 70, and first name 100 as well. There. Okay, so let's run this up. So I'm going to just maybe copy this, come right down here, paste. I just want to run down. That's going to be park, and open up a bracket. Let's fill up the table on both sides. Enter both, yeah, and comma, expand, make that 1. Close that. Alright, let's run this table and see what we've done so far. Have a good look at it. Yeah, so run. And there we go. Look at my table there. But here, look, this is a little bit of problem there. Okay, we'll take care of that. Alright, that's my error right there. I have both bottom. Okay, so that should be to the right, I believe. Let's see one more time. Yeah, okay, that's wrong. So let's come back in here and just change this to right. There we go. Now run. Okay, let's run it so that you guys can see it properly. Come back down here. Bring this up. Yeah, run. And there we go, guys. Look at it, well flashed to the frames. So with that, I'm going to call it the end of the second part of this tutorial, and I'll see you guys shortly where we'll start to work with the functions. Bye for now.